All right, hello. Welcome to our lesson on data sets. And first off, just want to start with a real quick definition of a data set. It's just a collection of data, a specific piece of information. And so on the AP exam, they kind of ask you a little bit like what you can or cannot figure out given the data that you have. And one interesting example of this actually from my job, I remember there was a time where I had these boss, like the people that ran the company, and we wrote programs for them, like reports about what was going on in the company. And I remember one day they came to me and they wanted to know like what time of day most orders were coming in. Like we were kind of like an Amazon company that people ordered stuff from, and they wanted to know, hey, what times a day are the most popular for people ordering? And we didn't store the time of the purchase, just the date, but not the specific time. So I remember having to try to explain to them that, hey, I can't actually give you that information because our database, our set of data, doesn't store the specific time that something was purchased. So I thought that was kind of an interesting example of that person didn't understand that, you have to have the data stored in the back end in order to be able to like actually make conclusions about specific questions. So it's kind of talk a little bit about like what you can or cannot determine from a set of data. Okay, so I want to kind of tie this into what we were doing with like files, because a lot of the data is stored actually in something called a database, but it's basically a database is not all that different than a giant spreadsheet. Like if you think of a giant spreadsheet or Google Sheet with a bunch of data. So here's an example of some data that would be stored in a file or potentially a database. We've got a few basketball players, and then stored there is their shots made, shots taken, how many fouls they had, total minutes, total points, and minutes played. I'm guessing this is over their career or something like that. So anyways, maybe pause the video and see what are some things you could conclude or calculate, and what are some things you could not calculate. Okay, so pause the video and give this a shot. Okay, so let's go over some things here. I'm going to reformat this so it fit a little bit better. But what you could say is you could like rank the players by most points scored, right? Since we have their name and their points, you could just say which player scored the most points. So it looks like it would be in our data set, that would actually be the second from the last there. So we could look at these numbers. Right, we'd pull them out in our program. We'd call that split, the string split, and then look, and it looks like L. James here would be our most points. So we could rank them by points scored. Let's see if we can get a couple more things in here that we would know. Another simple one would be who has the most or least fouls in their career. We could calculate that, right, because we have the foul data right there. And then just to try to get like more nuance, right, those are pretty basic, but we could also calculate the highest and lowest points per minute. Okay, because like if a player has more minutes, then they should score more points, but a really good player might score a lot of points per minute. So since we have the total points, but also the minutes played, we could figure out something like highest and lowest points per minute, right? Which might be a good one to calculate, or like another good one from a statistics point would be maybe like the points per shot they take. Since we have the number of shots taken and we have the number of points, right? So we could kind of look at that ratio and try to figure out who's scoring a lot of points while not taking necessarily a bazillion shots. Okay, and then some things we maybe couldn't calculate. Let's try to think about those. Some things we might want to, like, obviously there's some ones, if you're a basketball fan here, there's some obvious ones like we don't know anything about rebounds, right? There's nothing in here about rebounds. We don't know who's like the best rebounder, so we can't, I could put that here. Who is the best? We don't know that because we don't have the rebound data. Okay, we also we have nothing about their age, so we do not know player ages or anything like that. A little more nuanced one would be we could not figure out their three-point percentage, right? How, like, what percentage of 3-pointers they make. We can figure out their shooting percentage. We just divide the shots made by the total shots. shots taken. So shots made divided by shots taken. That would give you their regular percentage. So we could put that up here under things we can calculate is like the basic percentage. But we could not figure out the 3-point because it's not broken down by 2-pointers and 3-pointers. So we could just figure out their general shooting percentage, but not their 3-point percentage. Okay, let's try another example, one that's a little more relevant to you guys. This would be quiz scores for students. So it looks like we've already got their scores, and actually they stored the average there, which to me, this actually average column here is kind of a dumb column, if I'm being honest, because you can calculate that. If you've got their other quiz scores, you can calculate the average. So to me, it's kind of dumb to store that, but whatever, it's stored in there anyhow. So taking a look at this, pause the video again, and what are some things you could conclude and what are some things you could not conclude with this data? Okay, so let's take a look at some things that hopefully again you got a chance to try this, but let's look at some things that we could not for sure do. Okay, so, we could do. So we could figure out sort of which quiz was harder, right? Because we could look at the average score for each quiz. So we could do that. And then we could also identify, this would be one that as a teacher you might want to do. You could identify students to sign up for win, right? We could look at the low students, the students that are struggling a little bit. That might be a good use of this data, right? Because we could look at their average score and see kind of which ones are scoring the lowest average and kind of help them out. Some things that could not be answered by this data. To me, there's quite a lot because there's actually, if this was some sort of campus data, there'd be a lot of things missing, right? So one is we don't know the overall score in the class because I'm assuming there's other assignments besides this quiz. We wouldn't know the students' GPA because we don't have all their other grades from other classes. And we don't really know, I don't even know this would be enough to uniquely identify students because we only have their name, we don't even have their last name. So we really couldn't even uniquely identify individual students, right? So like in practice, what happens is like our campus system has like your last name for sure, and then also probably your student ID, because that would allow you to uniquely identify each student. So this would not be great if we needed to write a program to like correspond or like automatically email struggling students, because we can't necessarily uniquely identify them because we don't have obviously their last name and we definitely don't have their IDs. So you'd want some unique identifier in practice that would be a lot more useful than the data we see here. Okay, one last example for you to try. Again, I encourage you to pause the video and then watch through or look through the answers that I come up with here. And there might be a lot of, I should point out here, there should be lots of right answers to these, right? So like there's lots of things you can and cannot conclude about looking at this data. So just jot down some notes and then check with what I get here. Okay, so some simple ones would be like how much money does each club make, right? Because you could just multiply the members times the fee, right? So you could figure that out pretty easily. Kind of an interesting one would be like, what's the lowest cost per meeting, right? For like which club, okay, right? Because you could do like the meetings per month, the monthly meetings times 12 divided by the fee, and that would give you how much you're paying for each meeting, sort of. And so you could try to find, if you're trying to find like the cheapest one, so you could sort of find the cheapest club using this math, right? The cheapest one per cost per meeting. And there's tons of obvious ones here. Like you could figure out which one has the most members, which one's the most expensive. All those things are kind of obvious. I tried to list a couple sort of less obvious ones there. All right, things that couldn't be. And again, there's tons and tons of obvious ones here. Like there's no meeting, there's no meeting location / specific date. Right, which it's something you'd probably want if you were tracking clubs, but you don't have that here for sure. Let's see if we can come up with some more unique ones here. There's no contact information, so it'd be hard to join, like hard to figure out how to join, right? So it'd be nice if they had some contact information there, like who's the leader. Another good one that you might want to know would be, but you can't actually figure out, is how many students are in multiple clubs, right? But because we don't know which, like they don't have the individual members listed in these clubs, we couldn't figure out how many students are in multiple clubs, which is something you might want to know, but based on the data we have here, you would not know that. Okay, so that's it for the examples. What I want to do now actually is, this is a little maybe hard for you to see here, but do your best to, I guess, try to zoom in on this and see if you can answer. This is a sample AP question. So see if you can look over this and figure out which data set you would use based on this description. So pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, and honestly, these are just like reading really carefully, because I had to kind of read this a few times before I think I got what is the right answer. So we want to know about their course. The students that took the computer science course, were they in the photography club? So we need information about both the clubs and the courses. Okay, so if you look at data set 1, it's just the club data. So it doesn't have anything about courses, so that's not going to work. Yeah, and the second one, it does talk about courses, but it's only their favorite course. It doesn't have all the courses they took. So that one's out. And then I think data set 3 is the one we want, because it contains the name of the student, the courses they took, so all their courses and all their clubs, which is what we want. So we could kind of look at, if they were in the computer science course, were they also in the photography club, which is what we want. And then again, like this one just has favorites. It doesn't have all the clubs and all the courses, so data set 4 is not going to work great either. Okay, so again, this is what it might look like on the AP exam. I'm going to give you one more of these. So read through it again. And again, you kind of got to read it carefully, try to eliminate some choices, and then see if you can figure out what can be answered with this data set. Okay, so when I read this, they want to know, they're younger than 30 years old. Do they spend more time playing than those that are 30 years old or older? So basically what we need is their player's age and how much they play. Those are kind of the two things I think we need. So data set 1 contains the player's birth date and username, which would be good. That'll get us their age, essentially, the age for each user. And then the second one contains the username and average hours playing. So like right away, to me, those are the two that you want, right? Because you can match up the usernames, and then you'll know their birth date from data set 1, and then you can combine it with their average hour playing for data set 2, and then you would know, you could look at the ones that are less than 30 compared to the ones that are greater than or equal to 30 and figure out if their averages are different. Okay, and then the 3 and 4, again, these get wordy and I don't even really understand them. The number of players who were born in that year, that, I don't know, that doesn't seem like it's all that helpful. Yeah, who created an account in that year. So they created the account in that year doesn't necessarily tell you how old they are. So this data set is not all that useful to us either. Yes, to me, the best answer for sure is data sets 1 and 2. All right, that's all I got for this lesson. Thank you for watching.